David's response to his enemies reveals a startling strategy. After describing their relentless attacks, he writes, "But I, as a deaf man, heard not, and I was as a dumb man that openeth not his mouth. Thus I was as a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproofs." Psalms 38, 13-14. The verse begins with a contrast. But I. David shifts from describing his enemies to describing himself. The word but marks a deliberate turn. His enemies speak mischievous things and imagine deceit all day long. They fill the air with slander and lies. Yet David chooses silence. As a deaf man, heard not. David compares himself to someone who cannot hear. The word deaf means unable to hear sound. David does not respond to the accusations. He does not defend himself against the slander. He acts as though he cannot hear the words his enemies speak. This deafness is voluntary. David possesses the ability to hear, but he chooses not to engage. He refuses to answer their charges. He will not dignify their lies with a response. David continues, "And I was as a dumb man that openeth not his mouth." The word dumb means mute or unable to speak. The phrase openeth not his mouth emphasizes complete silence. David does not argue. He does not retaliate. He does not speak in his own defense. Verse 14 repeats the concept. "Thus I was as a man that heareth not, and in whose mouth are no reproofs." The word thus means in this manner. David maintains his position. He remains one who does not hear. The phrase, "in whose mouth are no reproofs," means he offers no rebuke. He does not correct his accusers. He does not answer their charges. This silence appears weak. David's enemies attack him with words and snares. They speak mischievous things all day long. They plot his destruction. Yet David says nothing. He does not defend his reputation. David does not expose their lies. He remains silent. The silence requires strength. Human instinct demands self-defense. When someone attacks your character, you want to answer. People spread lies, so you want to set the record straight. When someone plots against you, you want to expose their schemes. Yet David restrained himself. He chose silence. This silence reflects trust. David does not defend himself because he trusts God to fight for him. He does not answer because he knows God will respond for him. He does not speak because he is waiting for God to talk in his defense. The silence shows his faith. The biblical record shows this pattern in the life of Christ. When Jesus stood before Pilate, the governor asked him questions. The chief priests brought many accusations against him, yet Jesus answered nothing. Pilate gaped at his silence. And Pilate asked him again, saying, "Answerest thou nothing? Behold how many things they witness against thee." But Jesus yet answered nothing, so that Pilate marveled. Mark 15, 4-5. Jesus remained silent before his accusers. He did not defend himself. He trusted the Father's plan. Jesus knew God would vindicate him. The silence of Jesus fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. Isaiah 53:7. Christ's silence showed perfect submission to the Father's will. David's silence in this passage points forward to the greater silence of Christ. Both men faced false accusations. David and Christ both endured slander. Neither man defended himself. Both men trusted God to vindicate them. The silence also reveals wisdom. Proverbs teaches, "A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards." Proverbs 29:11. The tongue can set on fire the course of nature. Words spoken in haste can cause damage that lasts for years. David understood this truth. He refused to engage in verbal warfare with his enemies.